I find it very common today when you walk into pharmacies and you ask for a certain type of medication. The pharmacist will always start with the brand name and then always start with the most expensive medication.
I think also I don't know if it's a Kenyan problem.
Yeah.
That Kenyans think the most expensive thing is the one that really works.
And I feel like when products become popular, now no one is thinking about their safety. So you don't know that the board hasn't approved it yet.
So it's definitely
sublingual. Yeah. So we need to remind them that when you're taking P2, it's not getting rid of a pregnancy.
All medicines are poison.
Yeah.
So the difference between the remedy and the poison is the dose.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I usually tell patients that a headache, a hangover presents as a headache, and brain tumor presents as a headache.
Yeah.
What? Hi guys, welcome back to A Dose of Health, the podcast where I give you not too much, not too little, but just enough health information to make you make an informed decision. My name is Dr. Hope Simiyu, and today on set I have two other doctors with me. I'll let them introduce themselves and just give you a brief on who they are. Consortia.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Hope, for having us. My name is Dr. Lily. I'm a pharmacovigilance pharmacist, mainly dealing with patient safety. I'm very passionate about talking about patient safety because we all have a responsibility to ensure that our patients are safe and that the medicines that they take are working. So I'm very glad to be here and I look forward to having this discussion. Thank you.
Mwege.
Hi, I'm Dr. Moige. I am a community pharmacist and I currently run my own community pharmacy, Ultimate Pharmacy.
Hey.
So if you see it on the socials or just happen to pass by, I just know it's me. Anyway, I'm happy to be on the podcast today.
Thank you guys. First of all, so nice. Looking
Thank
smart.
Thank you.
And so I'm also very happy for you guys to be here. Thank you for honoring the invite. But when I start the podcast, I usually do like a small thing.
Okay.
So have you guys watched Inside Out, the movie?
No.
Hey.
Or if I did, maybe Kitambo, but no, I don't.
No?
I don't think
Okay.
so.
So you have 2 movies to watch. Yeah, by the end of this week, you have 2 movies to watch. There's Inside Out 1 and then Inside Out 2.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But you can find it on the internet. It's a big space, isn't it?
It's a big space.
Yeah.
So I usually ask my guests, where are you emotionally? Just because Inside Out it's a movie that enables us to understand our emotions and, why we act the way we act. So where are you guys emotionally today?
Okay. I would say right now I feel peaceful,
Okay.
grounded, and happy.
Wow.
Yeah.
On a Monday morning. Wow.
On a Monday morning.
Because I'm here.
Yeah.
I did not coerce her to say that, by the way. Yeah, what about you, Moige?
I can say grateful because I get to do. Sometimes I don't think there are things I do that I could do, but when you actually do them, you're like, Yeah, so grateful and what would be the other word?
That's a big one. That's a good one.
Just grateful.
Me,
that I
Nico
get
too.
to. Yeah.
Nico too. I'm just okay. Yeah. It's a Monday morning. It was a long weekend, but I don't know why it didn't feel like a long weekend. I still have kidogo exhaustion, but the show must go on.
The show must go on.
So because you said you're Dr. Moige and Dr. Lily, medical jargon, is there one word or one thing in your field of work that you want to elaborate for the people? Maybe patients keep on coming and asking you like, it doesn't mean that. This is your moment to shine. So medical jargon, debunk it for the people. I usually do it because I'm a doctor, but now I'll give you the space.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I will not go for medical jargon, but I'll go for something that I feel is a bit misconstrued. Especially in the pharmaceutical sector. So that is recalls, So of late, we've been having like a lot of circulars. You can see a lot of circulars on the press from Pharmacy and Poisons Board recalling a product from the market. So I just like to debunk what a recall is. So when you're recalling, you're actually removing 1 or 2 batches. So medicines are made in batches, so you are removing just 1 or 2 batches or 3 batches from the market because of maybe an issue that it might affect the patient, but you're not actually withdrawing the complete product from the market. That means that if you're maybe withdrawing recalling paracetamol, for example, it's only that 1 or 2 batches. The rest of the paracetamol in the market is safe for consumption. But when you're withdrawing, you're removing the product completely from the market. So you'll never see that product in your shelves again. So I feel like it's a bit misconstrued. So when there's just 1 batch or 2 batches being recalled, you'll see there's a lot of public panic in the public, because you might not even be having the product that is being recalled. So just focus on the batch number that is being recalled, and maybe you can even consult your pharmacist or your doctor on whether you should continue taking the batch that you have or the medication that you have at home. So don't panic like too much when it comes to a recall.
I also just learned, I didn't know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I actually thought recalling is like the whole, is withdrawing.
No, there's a difference between a recall and a withdrawal. And so many companies shy away from recalling because of the bad reputation, and also the, like now, okay, when you recall a product, you'll see the sales will dip a lot because of the public perception, but it shouldn't be like that. In more developed countries, recalls are very frequent. Because if the company realizes there's a problem, or the regulator, in our case, Pharmacy and Poisons Board, realize there's a problem in the product, we should be easily be able to recall it so that we can protect the public health.
All right. On a dose of health, you learn every day.
You learn. Every day is a learning day.
Do you have one to debunk?
Yeah, I think so. So I think mine would be antimicrobial resistance.
Okay.
I think most people just, let me not think for most people, but generally you'd ideally think it's just antibiotics, but it's not. It's also antimalarials, antifungals, antivirals. Yes, it's just a broad. Yeah. So when you think of antimicrobial resistance, think more than antibiotics.
Yeah.
So anything that you misuse, even if it's the antimalarial, they all lead to resistance.
That's true. That's true, by the way. And a topic dear to my heart because the way we are using azithromycin, ni kama ni peramende, guys. We just talk about that today. So I haven't even said why you guys are here. So they're here because they are pharmacists. They are licensed in Kenya, and pharmacists are doctors, isn't it?
Yes, we're doctors. Yes.
Yeah, so that's why I'm calling them Dr. Lily and Dr. Mwege, because they're also doctors. But today we just want to understand, what does a pharmacist do? What can we learn from pharmacists? Are there things that we're doing wrong in terms of medical safety? And you can just enlighten us around that conversation. Okay. So before we start, when you enter a pharmacy or a chemist in Kenya, who do we meet?
Okay, so you either meet a pharmacist or a pharmaceutical technologist. So the difference is a pharmacy has a degree in pharmacy, a pharmaceutical technologist has a diploma in pharmacy. Yeah, so in the current regulations, a pharmacist can own either a retail, a distributor, or import, or even a manufacturing facility. But for a pharmaceutical technologist, they're just restricted to retail outlets.
And is there a difference between like a pharmacy and a chemist?
Ideally, not really.
Not really.
They it's okay. I know abroad there's usually, in some countries like in the UK it'll be chemist, in the US it'll be pharmacy, but
so they're just synonyms.
They're just synonyms. So it just depends with the territory, but it means the same thing.
And what's it like working towards becoming a pharmacist in Kenya? I think for me as a doctor, I've talked about it, how to become a doctor in Kenya, the journey, the long journey.
Yeah, it's a very long journey.
The ups and the downs. What about for pharmacy?
So ideally you would do back then. Back then, yani I'm that old.
I know we've reached there. In my younger days. So BPharm was 4 years. 4 years of schoolwork, and then the 5th year was internship. And then after internship, you do, depending on which uni you are in. If you're in UN, you can say you can say the University of Nairobi.
If you're in the University of Nairobi, you do stage 2, because I know some other universities do stage 1, stage 2. Then you get registered depending on how
what
your results
stage 1
are.
And stage 2?
Exams.
Stage 1 exams. The ones to now get registered. So you do a stage 1. Now, if you're in University of Nairobi, you just do stage 2 exam after your internship. Then you're registered.
So they don't do stage 1?
No, we don't do stage 1.
Okay.
Unless it's changed, but yes, no.
Wow.
But I think for other unis, yes, you do stage 1 and stage 2 exams.
So if you're doing stage 2 exam after internship,
no, you do 4 years. Okay, like she had said, Kitambo it was 4 years, but now it's 5 years.
5 years.
So you do 5 years of farm school, and then once
1
you're
year.
done, once you graduate, you do stage 1. If you're in any other university except the University of Nairobi, you do stage 1 exams, and then you proceed for internship, and then we all do stage 2 exams, and then now you get licensed to practice.
Yeah.
so you're doing stage 2 after your internship.
Yes.
So you guys do an exam to get your license.
Yes.
Kwani
What do you
internship is
mean?
not the exam?
No, you guys don't do an exam?
No,
What?
You don't?
we don't do an exam.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Yes, you did the exam to graduate.
And you guys are hogging the doctor title.
Away.
Yes, imagine.
Wow.
This is so new to me.
Yeah.
I usually thought we
I thought
all
you guys do exams.
No, we do med school. So it used to be 5 years previously, just like yours used to be 4.
Yeah.
So we would do now 6 years. Then you do your exam, you graduate. Then you go to internship, you do your internship, and then you're licensed.
So you don't do any exam prior to internship and after internship?
No. Wait. So the exam you're doing before internship, is it your end of pharma school?
No, that's
you
a
do-
pharmacy and
it's
poisons
the
board exam.
yes. But now that's for people who didn't go to.
You should share
Yeah.
the title.
You're
with
doing
us.
so many exams.
Can you
Dr.
imagine?
Irene. So you do 3 exams, like overally. Like
Okay,
3
you'll
major
do the
exams.
not really, because you'll do now the exams in school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean? That's a major exam.
Yeah, those are major
At least
exams.
if you didn't do it to
throughout
get
the 5
Peter.
years.
Yeah.
Throughout the 5 years, you're doing the major exams.
Yeah.
Now you'll do the pre-internship exam with the Pharmacy and Poisons Board if you went to any university aside from UN. And then you'll do your internship and do the post.
Okay.
And actually, if you fail the stage 2 exam, you can't be licensed to practice.
Yeah.
Whether you've done all these things prior.
So do you repeat internship and what happens?
No, you can resit
The
the
exam.
exam.
Oh, the exam.
Yeah.
Wow.
But there's also I think a maximum.
Yes,
Is
there's a
there?
max. Yes,
Yeah.
there's
Okay,
a
fine. I think
maximum.
that
I
makes
think
sense.
it's
That makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Msituone tu.
Hey, no, I'll be calling you guys doctor, by the way. You deserve it. You've earned it. You deserve it.
Yeah.
Okay. So now after internship, now you've both taken different paths. So what is a day in the life of a pharmacist? Maybe you can talk of your experience. You can also talk of your experience, Moige.
Okay.
Okay, so a day in the life of a pharmacovigilance pharmacist, that just looks like looking after the safety of the patient. So there's a lot that goes into that, because there's a lot of back story that happens before you see medication on your chemist or in front of you in your house. Yeah, so there's a whole lot of drug design and development that happens before a drug is registered and approved approved to be marketed in any territory. And then now there's what we call post-market surveillance, what we do after the drug has been approved to be marketed in that territory. So it's both looking at trials, clinical trials, and also looking at, there are also trials that happen post authorization, that is after the drug has been marketed.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm learning. I feel like I should have carried a notebook. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and then there's also now the day-to-day vigilance that happens, because we need to ensure the product is safe in the entirety of its life cycle. So until the product expires, and as long as the product is actively marketed in that territory, there should be continuous pharmacovigilance happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're mnakonga too macho. You're just
Yeah.
on eyes. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Interesting. What about Dr. Moige? What's a day in your life as a pharmacist?
A day in my life as a community pharmacist, ideally just would be mostly dealing with patients, prescriptions, medications, like ordering in medications, counseling clients and patients. Yeah, because honestly, once a prescription comes to you, that's a window to cancel. Yeah, depending on what medications are prescribed, how they should take them, any contraindications or interactions, and any side effects that they should expect when they're on those medications.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also doing like the tests, the diabetes, the blood sugar tests,
Yeah.
hypertension, the blood pressure checks. Yeah, ideally
Okay. So have you guys, I know for your internship you worked in a hospital.
Yeah.
What's the difference in terms of experience? How was it working in a hospital as a pharmacist versus now community pharmacy and pharmacovigilance? And would you recommend? Because for us, like internship, we're just like, hey, I don't recommend.
Yeah.
It was like, I mean, it had to happen, but like,
Yeah.
what was that like for you guys?
Interesting question.
And are you guys supposed to be in the ward rounds?
Yes.
Mbona hatukuwaona in the ward rounds? That's
We actually were on the okay where I did my internship.
Yeah.
We used to be part of the ward round.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a whole another topic. But I would say for me, hospital was nice. I actually thought I would end up doing hospital pharmacy, like practicing hospital pharmacy. But it's a bit tough, especially in the public sector, because there's a lot of challenges, especially to do with human resource. So it looks like long hours, very long hours, a lot of work, very many patients. So sometimes it can get very challenging. And also dealing with patients on a day-to-day basis can sometimes be very emotionally challenging.
Oh,
Yeah. So that was a bit challenging for me, but I liked the overall experience. I know it's very tough for the people who are doing it right now. Yeah, but I would say if you like it, just go
Just
for
do
it.
it. It's your calling, it's your passion. And
Yeah,
Lilia
that's
too.
it.
Yeah. What about for you, Megan?
Honestly, I love being in community pharmacy.
Yeah.
As opposed to hospital for sure. Yeah, it takes a lot. For me, I have my internship, yes, I did hospital, and prior also before I've been in community and partly hospital, and where I worked was cancer hospital. So you can imagine, it really took a toll on me. So it's a lot. Okay. But honestly, if you enjoy it, then for sure, yes, it's also a good experience. That's to further your
Okay. Now, before we get deep into it, I have a short fun segment.
Okay.
So you'll tell us as a pharmacist. Okay. Now it's asking me for my password now. Okay, here. So you're a pharmacist for the day. A guy comes in asking for omeprazole for stomach issues. What are you doing?
What stomach issue?
What stomach issues? What symptoms?
How would you handle that person?
Yes.
Because as a community pharmacist, how are you handling this person?
Ideally, just ask them first of all, what symptoms do you have? Let's start there. What are you dealing with? And if it's pain, where are you experiencing the pain? Is it the upper part of your stomach? Is it the lower part?
Yeah.
Do you have any diarrhea, running stomach?
Yeah.
Anything that could have triggered,
Yeah.
Are you on any medication that could possibly be also causing, stomach? Yeah. So.
Okay. Correct. Tick. You've answered it well. You'll know where this is leading, don't worry. Because I know patients come in saying a lot of things and they want it now and then, but we need to get them to understand these are a reason why we are asking these questions. It's not just because we feel like,
and some people kasirika, mbona unaniuliza maswali? Nimekujia dawa, just give me all.
And like, I'm not trying to nima you.
I just need to know, because I don't want to make your problem worse.
Exactly. Okay, another scenario. A mom comes in insisting that her child needs antibiotics, augmenting to be particular, for a runny nose. How do you handle that? Now, listen, I'm listening keenly. Lily, do you want to attempt this one?
Okay. First of all, I don't think that you need to come to a chemist or a pharmacy with like a specific drug in mind, because that means you're actually now self-medicating. You are being the doctor in this case, So if you are coming for assistance, like your child is having a runny nose, just present the symptoms, and then now the pharmacist or the pharm tech or the doctor will advise like what are the next steps forward. It might be even just a viral infection, and then you want to put the child on antibiotics, and in that case an augmenting, which is one of the strong antibiotics. That might lead to other problems as resistance and so on. So just come with an open mind that even me, like I would say, as because I have been a patient, setting or the other. I try not to go with all that information that I have, because like you are realizing, even as you run the podcast, you can only know so much in medicine. So you need to give other people the chance to treat you, and also being a patient or being very close to the patient. Now being the mother, you have a very emotional connection, so you might not be able to make logical decisions when it comes to people that are very close to you. So just give the professionals a chance to advise on what is necessary for the patient.
While at the same time, of course, still be empowered. Don't just let it happen.
Don't just let it happen. Ask questions. If you don't understand, if you feel like they would have recommended something different, you might suggest, so you have a discussion, but try not to be so fixated on the outcome.
That's true. Okay, you're doing well.
Thank you.
Then the next one is, a lady comes in asking for P2. The floor is yours. How do you handle that situation?
Wow. Okay. So, first of all, we need to understand also, even as the public, that P2 is an emergency contraception. So sometimes you cannot have an emergency every 3 months. That is no longer an emergency.
Some even have every 2 weeks. I'm telling you.
That is no longer. You really need to figure out, do you need to be on long-term contraception or what do you need to fix this issue? So if it's not really an emergency, try and seek for long-term solutions, because also every drug actually has both desirable and undesirable effects, and that is now the side that we mostly do not know. So when you're taking that P2, it might help you in that moment, but then there might be some undesirable effects that may compound to something bigger in the future. So to prevent that, just make sure it is not bad to use them, but just let it be an emergency. And so that means an emergency cannot be every so frequent.
Also, I have a question.
Yes.
Is I know P2 is like the 72-hour one.
Yes.
So recently there's a video I did on my socials for the pharmacy page. And people seem to think there's the one that goes for up to 5 days.
Oh,
but I've not
Ulipristol.
But I don't think we have it in the Kenyan market.
I don't think so.
I
don't
thought
think so. Yeah.
I'm also learning.
There is a 5-day one, but I haven't seen it in the Kenyan market.
It has like a longer window, so it lasts, instead of the 72 hours, now it's 120 hours. No, 5 days.
5 days. 120 hours.
And then also, there's something special extra about it. I can't really remember, but it kind of tends to offer longer protection compared to now the P2. So that 72-hour window is extended. But I don't think we have it here. But if we do, it's still the conversation is still the same, because it's still an emergency pill
at the end of the day.
Then the last one is, a man comes in asking for better pain without a prescription. And I'm not saying man or woman. These are just random, please. It's not gender attached, but
No,
because you've talked about better pain, so
no, we don't have it in stock. I know, I'm joking. No, honestly, So Betapin has codeine as one of the ingredients, and codeine is you would definitely need a prescription for codeine. So I would offer an alternative, but not, wouldn't give Betapin without a prescription. So we'll just find out what they're trying to treat with the Betapin and see if there's an alternative I can suggest. If not, then refer them to a doctor.
And
where they can get a prescription.
What's the benefit of a prescription? Why do we write prescriptions?
Okay, that's a good question. I think because of, like, for example, Betapin, so we have some cases of abuse and misuse of products in the market. So abuse is where you're using a product for recreation, like to get high, and codeine being a product that has been widely abused. It was removed from the OTC section to prescription only because of abuse issues. So it can look like maybe abuse, if the product is prone to abuse, you will need a prescription to get it. Also, the product, how safe is the product? So there are products that we say have a very narrow therapeutic window, meaning that between them helping you and them harming you
is
it's a very small window.
Yeah.
So it needs to either be taken in a controlled setting or be given under a supervision by a doctor. So that's why you need a prescription for that. You also need a prescription for things like antibiotics because of the resistance that we are seeing in the market. So we need to control how people are generally taking antibiotics. So there are many reasons we would control misuse. Also, there are people who just wake up and just slight pain, you want to treat with this and that. You have a runny nose, you want to take an antibiotic. So we really need to control the way the products are being used, and that's why some products are prescription only and some products you can easily get them over the counter.
Okay.
And also for chronic, because there are diseases that you just can't diagnose by yourself. So you can't wake up and think, oh, I have diabetes. You actually need to diagnose. You can't think, oh, I have cancer. So in such diseases like a bit technical, complicated diseases, you would it's common sense that you need to have first seen a doctor for you to be placed on that medication.
So why I was asking you those questions is because, first of all, about 60% of Kenyans self-medicate before they see a doctor or a pharmacist. But also at the same time, for majority of Kenyans, the pharmacist is the first interaction. So I don't know if people understand that a pharmacist has studied the same things we study in medicine, maybe not in depth, but you have that understanding to know, for this, I could give this medication, and for this, I need to refer. So there's that allowance you have in terms of diagnosing, but also in recommending a medication. But you are the first interaction with most patients. So counseling is a very big part of what you do. Now, you've talked about regulated medications and why we need prescriptions. Of late, I don't know if it's just my Instagram, I've been seeing some things floating around. You see, I don't want to name names, but I feel like I might have to. You see sitagliptide. Am I saying semaglutide? Hey, sitagliptide. You see semaglutide left, right, and center. And we know that's a regulated substance. But also, when we were speaking earlier, you guys added something. You added a layer on top. So what is PPB doing, or what are the regulatory bodies doing to ensure that there is medication safety, or that certain products are not in the market without the regulation that is necessary for them?
Okay. So first of all, pharma is a regulated industry. So you cannot import, sell, or distribute products that are not registered by the Pharmacy and Poisons Board. So if you do that, you're acting out of you're now doing illegal business.
And you also have to be registered.
You heard it here.
You also have to be either a registered pharmaceutical technologist or a registered pharmacist to either
what's the difference between the two?
Okay, so for a technologist is someone who's attained a diploma in pharmacy.
Okay.
So as per the regulation right now, they are allowed to own retail premises. That is the chemist that we go to every day.
Okay.
And then for a pharmacist is someone who has attained a degree in pharmacy and is also registered by the Pharmacy and Poisons Board and licensed to practice. So for them, they can import, they can distribute, they can oversee manufacturing, and they can also even do retail. So they have that window. So any product that is in the country should be imported by a licensed pharmacist or a licensed pharmacist, and also should be distributed or sold by someone who is licensed to practice.
No, so not just anyone.
So not just anyone. So anything that you see that is not registered is not supposed to be in the country.
Okay.
And I know there's even different brands. Like other than Ozempic, there's Wegovy.
I've seen Wegovy as well. There's a newer one. Monjaro. Is it called Monjaro?
As well.
It's in the process of registration.
It's in the process of registration. Okay. Is Ozempic registered in the country?
No.
Okay. Wow. So people are actually using it and it's not registered.
So the downside to that is if any adverse events would occur to you, there is no pharmacovigilance specialist who is mandated to take care of that product in the market.
Okay.
So what that means is if you're importing, you need to have a pharmacovigilance system that is able to monitor, detect, and also get reports from the market on the safety of that product. So if that product has not gone through the due process of registration, that means anyone who is importing or selling it is not really looking after the safety of the patient. So if any adverse reactions were to occur, no one would be able to be held responsible. And also no one would be able to maybe even communicate to the manufacturer in whatever country they are of the effects that are happening in our territory. So that's the danger in such kind of a product.
Wow. Now, what about marketing of regulated substances? Because now we're seeing a lot of marketing, like even of diabetic medication, not semaglutide to be specific, just in general. Are we allowed to market?
Ideally.
So
restricted?
we are only allowed to market over-the-counter medications. So anything that is requires a prescription should not be advertised as such. So there are ways that pharmaceutical companies advertise, or maybe I would say market, not really advertise. There's a way that they market that is within the law, and there are approvals that they have to get from the Pharmacy and Poisons Board, and also they have to keep on cross-collaborating with the board to get to know how are they, marketing their products, maybe to doctors. You've seen that in practice, but it's in a very controlled environment because we don't want people, medicines are not sweet. You don't just wake up and take them.
It's
So we don't want people to just access, anything, but then now there's, so anything that is prescription only should not ideally be advertised. There are mechanisms in which it should be marketed.
And I feel like it's also like a global issue, because I think there's a video I came across, someone was traveling, I don't know if it was to Mexico, and literally in the fridge there's like sodas and everything. There was Ozempic there. And like even countries like, I think, where was it, in Egypt, like they can find clonazepine, which is like a class of benzodiazepine. They're sold over the counter, literally, like they're literally there, and you're like, what? So I guess with different countries there's also
we have different regulations as well.
I think so. So I think it's just a global
it's a global issue. All right, now let's talk about fakes in the market. But we'll start, let me start from generic versus brand. As pharmacists, is there a preferred medication, brand names versus generic medication, in terms of safety, in terms of quality, and overall what they're supposed to do?
Okay, not really.
That one, please, louder, in front of the mic.
So what an original is that the original is the originator of the product. It's the person who first discovered the product. And so they are the IP owners, the intellectual property owners, and so they are given a period of time where they're the only people who can market the products in the various territories. And then after that period elapses, other people can now manufacture generics of the same product. So that is what the difference is. But in terms of quality, in terms of safety, there's not really much. I wouldn't say there's elaborate difference between the two. It just depends. If it's a generic that you're taking, is it safe? Is it of good quality? Has it been prescribed? If you encounter any problems, you can be able to follow up with your doctor or the pharmacist or where you bought it to be able to, understand if the product is safe for use. But there's not really much, I would say, in terms of efficacy, they should be able to work the same
way.
Yes.
Also, ideally, so to add on your point, so they do have the same active pharmaceutical ingredient. Probably the difference would be what they use as excipients, like the additives.
Excipients.
Yes.
Okay. Word of the day.
So you'll find that someone will say, when I take this brand, I get this reaction. So ideally, it probably is what they use as now the additives or the excipient. But ideally the active ingredient is the same. So you should get the same therapeutic effects.
Okay. And I know this is my own experience. I don't think, I'm not saying this is something you guys practice, but I find it very common today when you walk into pharmacies and you ask for a certain type of medication, the pharmacist will always start with the brand name and then always start with the most expensive medication. Why?
But that's the thing, because like you can just go and give a generic. Someone's like, "Kwani una sina pesa? Which other? Give me, no, I want the original brand. Why are you giving me a generic first?" So you'll just start with the options like, this is the original brand, then these are the generics. Unless now maybe your prescription specifically specifies the brand, then yes, they'll be like, this is what the doctor has.
Okay. So you're not pushing numbers. You're not here trying to take my money.
But I think also I don't know if it's a Kenyan problem. That Kenyans think the most expensive thing is the one that really works.
It is a Kenyan problem.
Yeah. So it's not even only restricted to pharma. Even in other industries. Even when you're buying cutlery, you think the most expensive is actually the best.
That's
but
true.
Sometimes it's not even, it's not really, there's no much difference because like she has said, the active pharmaceutical ingredient
is the same.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's move on to fakes. As I was researching a bit for this episode, I discovered that fake medicine is a big problem in Kenya. And I had some two statistics here. I was so shocked I had to write them down.
Okay.
So, apparently Kenya has a major problem with fake drugs, and about 10% of prescription medication, not only in Kenya but in Africa, is fake, counterfeit, or substandard. So, and you might have taken one without even knowing. Then I heard that, was it last year or in 2021, the ministries, I think they lost about like 400 million or something like that because of fake. They had to now dispose and get rid of fake medicines. Are we suffering silently and we don't know? Like, what role does me as a consumer have in trying to understand, is this a real product, a fake product? Is that the pharmacist's role? Like, how do we work on this issue?
Wow. So I think everyone has a role,
Yeah.
But the first role or the buck stops with the Pharmacy and Poisons Board, because they are the regulators of what is in the market, So of course, in any market, you won't lack some people doing illegal things here and there, trying to sell illegal products, and that is counterfeit products. So as the regulator, of course, they do their job in ensuring that they try and, inspect premises, inspect the distributors who are importing products. Also, even just try, they come and inspect you guys randomly.
Just randomly.
Exactly, to just look at what products you're selling. So also as a consumer, if it is a product that you've taken before, I would advise, if it looked a certain way and the packaging or the labeling has changed, you need to, raise that alarm with either your pharmacist or your doctor to try and find out, has the manufacturer changed the packaging, or is it a fake product that you're taking? Also, you can look at maybe quality issues in the product. Are the tablets breaking, for example? Is the suspension caking, or some things that can tell you
the color is different.
The color is different. The way maybe the font or the writing is different. And sometimes even the labeling is not even maybe in English. It's in other languages. But that can also now be a parallel import. So as a consumer, sometimes it's really hard to be able to get to know. But I would say the first step is ensuring you get your products from a pharmacy that is registered, and also the pharmacist or the pharmtech that is selling you the product is also registered. So that's your way of authenticating the product. But also the Pharmacy and Poisons Board are coming up with a system where we can be able to authenticate our products from home.
That's nice.
That should be, I think they should be launching it soon. So it's like a track and trace system where you can just scan the QR code of the product and you can be able to authenticate whether it's a real product. But if you have any I would say suspicions on whether the product is safe or not, you can always contact the board. They have a USSD code *271#.
Itabidi to me *271#. We put it
or you can use their website. So they have reporting forms on their website where you can actually contact them. The concern will go to the product surveillance something department, and then they will be able to get back to you on whether the product is legit. Me
and my girl is talking on Instagram. We're like, have you seen that one? Are we reporting?
Actually, there's one we reported. There was Ozempic one. We submitted a complaint form. We filled in the form.
There's one that you posted and I reported.
We did.
Because now you're just looking at patient safety, and I feel like when products become popular, now no one is thinking about their safety.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Exactly.
yeah, I want to do this and this,
Yes.
and this medication says it can do this and this. But then also you don't know that the board hasn't approved it yet.
Yeah.
So you don't know that these are some of the side effects.
Yeah.
So I think we need to keep talking about these things and just educating the public on how to report as well. Because
Yeah.
yes, you can
True.
also do it as an individual.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you don't really have to go to a doctor. You can report it from home.
You can actually do it. Yeah, you can do it from home.
Yeah.
The pharmacovigilance
Portal.
the portal.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you if you go to the Pharmacy and Poisons Board website, there are reporting forms on that website. So you can report, or you can use that USSD code *27.
Or you can just pop by your nearest pharmacy and ask them to assist you to fill in the form. You can just go with the product and you're like,
Okay.
So
or you
this
go
is
back to the hospital,
Yes.
and then they will report on your behalf.
Okay. And you've talked about licensed pharmacies. So how would I know?
so ideally a licensed pharmacy, you should have your licenses hapo.
Or displayed?
Yeah,
hapo?
displayed. And also I think they have a health safety code of the pharmacy or the premise. So you can text it to, I'm forgetting the number.
Yeah, when I find
and
it, I'll put it.
Yes, and they can verify that this is a registered pharmacy. Or even when you check the PPB portal, you can literally go to premises and you search a premise or a person's name or a pharmacist
just
or
like
a
us
pharmacist
as
name.
well.
Yes, and
Okay.
You can even search a product.
Yes.
You can search a
is
product.
registered.
Yeah.
I'm going to search just to play around with it.
You can
Okay.
search
So
for
yeah,
Okay.
I think people need to be aware of that. I feel like people really are not aware of this, and that's how you fall.
We'll see how to make a reel, a reel to like show them how to use the websites. Yeah, because I think sometimes visual aids help a bit more.
Yeah, because I feel like mtu ataona chemist, pharmacy, let me go. Like, because you're like, so long as it's there, I'm sure it's legit. Let me just buy. Yeah, but do your due diligence.
Now, sorry. There's something exciting that we get to me. And I want us to educate the public. How do we dispose of medicine? How are we supposed to dispose of medicine? Yeah. This is your time to shine.
So if you happen to have any expired medication at home or in your store, whatever, so what you do is don't discard them at home, like in the trash or flush them in the toilet. What you do is just package in a bag, take them back. You can take them to the pharmacy where you bought them at, or you can take them to your nearest pharmacy. And once you submit it to them, usually for us in community pharmacy, you quarantine expired drugs. So you separate them from your regular stock, label them as expired, do an inventory. And then once you do an inventory, you submit to the board. Then the board now comes and collects. And then now they're the ones who incinerate it. Yeah. And then there's a fee you pay for that. So, yeah.
I didn't know that. Like, I didn't know the whole loop.
Yeah, so you take it back to the pharmacy or where you bought them from, or even a hospital. Yeah, they have structures in place too.
So not in a dustbin,
not in the toilet,
flushing down the toilet.
Yeah,
just take it back to the pharmacy, a licensed pharmacy,
a licensed one. Yeah.
Okay. So now another fun small part. It's a rapid fire question.
Okay.
Name 2 medications you should never mix with alcohol.
Metronidazole.
Imidazole. Yeah, so
say the one people know. Imidazole, they don't know.
Flagy.
They don't know metronidazole. Yeah, they know flagy.
I've been out of community practice. Forgive me.
Flagyl.
Yeah. And why are we not mixing with alcohol? Because this is the question. Daktari, neza kunywa kidogo if I want this medication.
No, some even say, I can't drink wacha ingoje basi. Let me finish.
Wow.
Yes,
so
it
they
happens.
Drink fast and then they take the medicine.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me not bite now.
Oh, the long weekend is coming.
Just imagine it happens.
Wow.
Yeah. And you're like, wow, guys, what happened to putting your health first?
I know.
Yeah. It happens.
Why shouldn't they mix?
So this at least it's called disulfiram reaction. So ideally it worsens side effects of
the medication.
Yeah, so like nausea, diarrhea, stomach cramps. Yeah, all those will become worse once you combine with alcohol.
Okay. What about painkillers?
Painkillers, yes, I also wouldn't advise for people who like you pop maramojas or any general painkiller after your hangover. That time your liver is trying to detoxify, clear out the alcohol, then you're adding medication on top. So that could be harmful to your liver and also your stomach. Your stomach lining. Yeah.
Then they'll come in the morning, doctor, I have heartburn. Acid. That's exactly why. It's the painkillers plus the alcohol effects. Yeah. Okay. So, another one. Which 2 medications should always be taken after a meal? And first of all, should we be keen to follow these instructions? Take before meal. Don't take with food. Take with food. Take after meal. Should we be keen to follow these instructions, and why?
Ideally, yes. There's some medications that should strictly be taken with food. Some cases of like some antibiotics.
Yeah.
I know some you can take, like azithromycin can be taken before food, half an hour before food. But the likes of Augmentin, Zinat, majorly the broad spectrum ones usually after meals. And also combined with a probiotic because they tend to strip your good bacteria. So yeah. Then before food, ideally would be PPIs like the omeprazoles and what else?
So we should, but generally we should follow the instructions.
Generally follow, yes, yeah. Because
Okay.
there's some, if you take them with food, the absorption is reduced.
Yeah.
And there's some, when you take them on an empty stomach, you get the irritation, acidity,
Yeah.
reflux. Yeah.
So there's a reason. I think what I
that's
just tried to
what she's
pass.
saying is that, there's a reason to all those
this,
instructions that you get. So that's why sometimes you take medication and you come back and say it's not working because you didn't take it under the right conditions.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, there's one I've always been wanting to ask about. You see medications that come in a capsule, and people who are just like, I can't swallow the capsule, and then they open it and they pour the powder, mix it with water.
That's wrong.
Are we doing the right thing there?
No.
Why are we not? Why is it
Because
in
the
a
thing
capsule?
is, like you say, some that come in a capsule, it could be a slow release.
Yeah.
So once you break it and open and mix with your food, that's already immediate release. So you ideally, so if you're checking it, that means it immediately all of it goes
an
into your
overdose.
system. So it could be an overdose, and your side effects could
it's
be
an
worse.
overdose.
Yeah, because
Okay.
if a capsule is formulated as slow release, you take it as that. So it's over
Your
time.
body is
works
able to
slowly.
release
Yes.
it slowly.
So if you break it and or crush the tablets, or like so
Yeah.
you could get an overdose or side effects could be worse.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen an uncle doing that, and I was like, I don't think
Yeah,
you're supposed to be doing
don't.
that.
Yeah.
But
Or
that was
even though-
before my med school days, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even you find like maybe a patient has been prescribed for, let's say maybe glucophage 500. They're like, so glucophage 500 ni 10 bob. Na 1,000 milligrams ni 15. Sininunue 1,000 nikate.
Oh,
nimeze.
yeah.
So it'll be cheaper and make you the extended release. So if you
Yeah.
kata it, you've already ruined the extended release formulation. So yeah.
So
Don't.
the 1 milligram, no, the 1 gram split in half does not equal
not
500,
500
500.
If it's an extended release. Yes,
Okay.
don't do
Okay.
that.
Sawa,
Yeah.
sawa. That's what I've learned. I've
Yeah.
learned. Okay. Then another question is, deworming tablets, should I chew or should I swallow?
True.
Why am I chewing? No, I agree, chew, because I always read the
chew.
instruction. But now for someone who's asking, why am I chewing?
So that means its metabolism is starting in the mouth.
Yeah.
Or if we understand the digestion process,
Yes,
digestion
yes,
can start in
yes.
the mouth for some, mostly carbohydrates and now some medications, for others in the stomach.
Yeah.
So for this one, you're chewing because you need it to start in the mouth.
Okay.
Okay. Then last question before we now continue and finish up. P2, should I swallow or should I place it under the tongue? Is it sublingual or is it oral?
It's isn't it
The
swallowed?
timer is telling us
No?
it's time to stop. Now we're continuing.
It's swallowed, no?
It's not swallowed.
It's swallowed.
It's swallowed.
Yeah.
It's swallowed. Yeah. It's
I was
swallowed.
like, I was like, that would be a new one. Sublingual.
No, what I was asking is because, like, people don't really understand that P2 is not misoprostol.
No, yes, misoprostol is
and
definitely
misoprostol is
sublingual.
sublingual.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to remind them that when you're taking P2, it's not getting rid of a pregnancy. If the pregnancy was already there,
It's there.
it will remain there.
So something about sublingual.
Yes.
Anything that you take sublingual is absorbed very highly. So if you take it sublingual, it means if you don't take it, it's supposed to be taken orally and then you take it sublingual. It means that you're fast tracking its
The
absorption.
process.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe let me just explain sublingual and oral for someone who might not understand. So sublingual means we place it under the tongue. You know, there's some medications that you're told, just place it under your tongue. Don't chew, don't suck, just let it stay there.
Yeah.
And then there are other medications you're either told to chew or you're told to just swallow. So those ones we say that's oral mode of administration.
Yes.
Okay, you've done a good job, guys. Now, as we finish, because I think we've covered most things, this is myth versus fact. Aya. Are all pharmacies in Kenya legal?
I wouldn't speak for
Yeah, I also
for
wouldn't say.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should be, but
Ideally.
you need,
Yeah.
ideally, but I think you also need to verify like what.
Yeah, what we talked
Yeah.
about, yeah.
Me, I'm speaking for mine. Mine is
Yours
legal.
is? Do you want to name it? You can name it and say where it is so people can come and find you. Only if you're allowed to market. I don't know if you're allowed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
mean,
Are you allowed to
sure.
market pharmacies?
Yeah.
Plug yourself.
So my pharmacy is Ultimate Pharmacy. We're based in Langata, Phenom Estate Shopping Center, first floor. So yeah, pop by if you have a chance.
Or they can find you online as well,
Or even
right?
online. Yeah,
Yes.
Ultimate Pharmacy. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Now, painkillers are harmless if you don't exceed the dose.
No. Yeah.
No.
So even the safest of painkillers
Yeah.
that we think are the safest, like paracetamol, if taken on overdose, they can actually cause liver damage.
Yes.
So anything taken on overdose is not right. Yeah. I think there's a Swiss scientist that said all medicines are poison. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the difference between the remedy and the poison is the dose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. It's an
Yeah.
anecdote.
Anything in excess is a poison.
Then another one. Okay, I think it's answer the next one. You can't overdose on Panadol, which you've answered you can. Pharmacists push certain drugs because they have sales targets. Please don't look at me.
Hey.
Don't look at me. Is it true or false? Myth or fact?
Honestly, speaking for myself,
Yeah.
no. But honestly, no. At the end of the day, this is someone's life. This is someone's health. If you don't need the medication, why would I give it to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel
Okay.
like that's a very wrong approach.
Yeah, it's a very wrong approach. There's also some of the ethics that we stand by as pharmacists. So
Yeah.
one of them is called, what is it called? The one that you regulate, you try rational use of medication.
Yes, rational
So you're just prescribing what is needed.
Yeah.
And sometimes if one product can cover two things, you're advised to just use that one product. You don't have to over prescribe.
It reminds me, there's a prescription that was shared in a group, a pharmacy group I'm in. This patient was on about, I think, 14 or 15 medications. And then
14.
Yes. And then in one of those was written epinephrine 100 milligrams, which is like the brand name. That was like number 10, number 11. Then number 13 or 14 was phenytoin 100 milligrams.
That's the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, what was the
rationale?
Yeah. So prescribing the same thing. And imagine if someone who's dispensing didn't catch that. That means they'd give epinephrine and give phenytoin and
At
that
the same time.
overdose.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I think we need an episode on medication errors.
Medication errors.
Okay.
It happens.
I'm writing. I'll need to note that down. It's true, by the way.
happens, yeah.
But also, let me just add kidogo. I would say that I'm sure there are some who do it. Not saying that you do it, because even for us in the medical practice, there are people who don't follow ethics.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now the difference is an empowered patient who's able to understand that this is not what I was told, or this is not how it's supposed to be done, and probably either report that or address it there, or move to another provider who is safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember that time, a few years back, there was a hospital, no names named,
Yeah.
that was in hot water because they used to have targets for patients. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're delaying your exit from the hospital just so that they can meet their targets.
Okay.
Or they're over admitting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these are things we've seen,
Yeah,
and they do happen.
I hear them a lot.
Yeah, that's why we need patients to be empowered so that you can ask the questions. Okay, why am I still here?
Yes.
Why are you admitting me?
Yeah, and I would also advise a patient. Yeah, so once you're prescribed, like you're given a prescription, try and understand what each product is for.
Exactly.
So this is a painkiller, this is an antibiotic, this is an antihistamine.
Yeah.
Because there's a friend of mine who we'd gone to their shags.
Yeah.
And then now the grandfather, when they hear you're a doctor.
Yeah, all the problems.
Like, angalili.
Yeah.
So he asked me to take a look at his prescription. So I realized that he had a flu. So when he went to hospital, they prescribed an antibiotic. And then so he had been refilling the prescriptions and refilling the antibiotic for over a month.
Oh my god.
So he's been taking this antibiotic back to back. He didn't realize that it was only meant to be taken for 5 days. Wow. And then stopped after now the 5 days. So every time, because he's on other medication, he has chronic illnesses, so every time he goes to refill his prescriptions for anti-diabetics, anti-pressure medication, they used to add in the antibiotics. So he'd been taking the antibiotic for over a month. So that's why it's quite essential to try and understand what each product is for and how long you should be taking the product, because sometimes when you're on long-term treatment, you might end up taking things that are a bit unnecessary over and over again. Even for pain medication, so pain medication is only meant to be taken when there is pain. So when the pain elapses, for example, you are on antibiotics for 5 days and you have pain medication to go alongside it. When the pain stops, maybe after like 2-3 days, stop taking the pain medication. It's not necessary to continue until the end.
That's a very good point. And these days I'm very keen to know people who take painkillers for a headache. And if you're having a headache every single day, that is a problem. Where's the camera here?
Underlying issue.
A headache most of the time is a symptom. It's not a diagnosis.
Yeah, it's a symptom.
So if you've taken the painkiller today and you're having the same thing tomorrow and the day after, it's telling you, please get it checked. Because there might be something more in the background and you're here trying to address a symptom when there's a bigger thing
problem.
happening. So that's a good point.
So I usually tell patients that a headache, a hangover presents as a headache, and brain tumor presents as a headache.
Wow.
So you really need to, when the headache is continuous, you really need to have it checked. It might be something bigger than what you think.
That's true. And also diabetes, because of the hypoglycemia, low sugars constantly will also present as a headache. So there may be a lot happening as a headache.
So there's so many things. And that's why we are saying don't self-medicate.
At the end of the day,
self-medicate. Just go to a professional. They know how to be able to know if there's something more than what you think is presenting.
I think even same case with how now there's a rise in colon cancer, because people you ignore the signs. They're like, I'm just constipated. I'll just take
have gas.
Let me just take a laxative.
That's true.
You keep ignoring until it gets to that point and it's already escalated and so.
Okay. This was nice. I know we can go on. This is telling me that there's room for a few more episodes because there's much to discuss. But as a parting shot for today, what is a piece of advice you'd give to a patient when it comes to medication safety? Maybe that we haven't mentioned in the discussion.
I would say, if you experience anything suspicious, you don't have to be sure, you don't have to have any medical know-how. If you take a drug and it gives you an effect that is not what you desired. So for example, you take a paracetamol and you end up maybe fainting, you need to report. Anything abnormal that happens when you take medication, kindly report. You can report. Most company websites have their reporting forms on their website. So you can just check out the company and report, or you can report directly to the Pharmacy and Poisons Board. That is through the USSD code *271#, or you can go to their website and find their reporting forms. So anything abnormal, kindly report. Also, talk to your doctor about it, or talk to your pharmacist about it, and let them know what is happening. Do not suffer in silence. Don't say, ninavumilia, because maybe I need the medication to work. They'll be able to advise. And even if the adverse event is on the label, because sometimes you find them as side effects on the product labeling, you still need to report. Yes.
Okay. Next, Daktari.
So for me would be just always ask questions. Always ask. If you have any questions on your medications or your prescriptions, always ask questions. Always ask what to expect when you take the medications, interactions. Because sometimes I feel like you can, for me in a community setup, I like to take time when I'm dealing with a patient or a client, so I can explain and like break down everything to you and not be rushed. Be like, chukua hii moja kwa siku, asubuhi, jioni, nini. And I'm not telling you don't take this and this together. So always ask questions and I
think for me, it would be, please go through your home pharmacy. Some of those products have expired.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also
get rid of those
Yeah.
medications. Yeah. And you've told us the process of how to, dispose of expired medication. So yeah, please guys, if you have a home pharmacy, I know many of us do, please just check, go through the products, and if you need to restock, you can restock. Before we close, I've just remembered something.
Yes.
Now, as pharmacists, please, when it comes to cough syrups, how long should I stay with a cough syrup? If I open it today and then 6 months down the line I get a cough, can I still use that cough syrup?
I know.
No.
So how long should cough syrup be used once opened?
I think mine would be a bit biased,
Yeah.
but I would suggest that immediately you're through with the cough, dispose of that product, because for syrups they are very prone to antimicrobial contamination.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
infections.
so anything that you open, even for eye drops, I see people
Yeah.
using eye drops up to
drops.
3 years.
No.
That is
3 years.
not recommended. So once you
Yeah.
open the eye drop,
Yeah.
don't use it over 6 months maximum. Yeah. So whether it's expired or not, just dispose it. So there's also something I've remembered.
Yeah.
How we store our medication.
Yes, by the
Yes.
way.
Yeah.
So-
That is.
That's another problem. Yeah,
Yeah.
because sometimes people will come and claim that the product is of poor quality, but the problem is how we've stored the products. Yeah. So you find that in some homes, people are storing their products either in the kitchen or in the bathroom cabinet.
Okay.
So in the kitchen, just note there's a lot of temperature fluctuations because we are cooking in the same kitchen.
Yeah.
And we know that medicines should be stored. Most medicines, unless it's cold chain products, they should be stored below 30 degrees. So the time where we've closed all the windows and all the doors and we are cooking, sometimes the temperature can go beyond
higher.
30 degrees. And also there's a lot of humidity in the kitchen.
Moisture.
Yeah.
So
Moisture.
that moisture that you see on the walls, even
The
when you're
windows.
showering on the windows,
Yeah.
that is a lot of humidity for the product, and they need to be in cool, dry
Dry.
places.
Yeah.
Away
And some
from
away from the
sunlight.
sun.
And away from sunlight. So even for the chemists, they need to store the products away from direct sunlight.
Sunlight,
So
yeah.
you go sometimes to chemists and you can find the sunlight is directly
On the products.
on the window. That is wrong, because now it means it compromises the quality of that product. So if you have your products, your supplements, your medicines in your bathroom cabinet, you need to find somewhere else
To keep
They
them.
gotta go.
Yeah.
They gotta go. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before, is there any parting shot, any burning point that you want to address before? But you'll be back because I've enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say?
Okay. I'm thinking.
Me, I want to say something.
Okay.
Please keep up the pharmacovigilance. I think it's very, very important, especially today, because we're seeing more and more products, even now venturing into like specific specialized areas, skincare being one of them. We are seeing a lot of challenges there.
Yeah.
So please continue, and hopefully one day we'll get to see ingredients on every product, because ingredients are so important.
Very important.
If there are no ingredients, you have no basis to complain.
Yeah.
True.
So
And you don't know
keep
what
on.
you're taking.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And then for Moige, please keep on the social media education, because I think it's so important, and I really like how you do it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so-
And there are days you're like, Sasa even looks at these things.
There's
but
that
you're
one
like,
person. Let me tell you, there's
Yeah.
always that one person or two people.
Yeah.
Even if it's out of the 10,000, you've changed two people's lives.
True.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
unafanya kazi mzuri.
Thank you.
So thank you guys so much for coming. Hopefully we'll do this again.
Yeah.
Talking about the errors and so many other things.
Yeah.
And so guys, please, do you want to be found on social media? I have
I'm
to
not
ask.
very active.
Okay, you don't want to be found.
Yeah.
Sawa sawa.
Yeah.
Moige has plugged herself. If you want to do your at Instagram, do you want them to follow you or the
the
page?
pharmacy page.
The pharmacy page. So I will
Yeah.
plug it down there.
yeah. But you can still
thank-
find me on my
on your Instagram.
on my Instagram.
Yeah.
So Ultimate Pharmacy, and my personal page is just Moige.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry, they'll be down there.
Yeah.
So be sure to like, to comment, to share, to subscribe. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. You can also find us on Instagram, on TikTok. Where else? Yeah. Maybe the others will reach there later.
YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. Yeah, they're here.
Oh,
subscribe.
yeah.
Oh, Spotify.
Oh,
Apple
yeah,
Podcasts.
Spotify.
Wow.
Yeah, so please follow us everywhere. Leave a comment on something that maybe you'd want addressed. I'll be sure to tell them to help me address it.
Okay.
And follow me as well, Dr. Hope Simiyu, on my socials. So that's it for today's episode. And stay tuned for more. Okay, let's say bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.